G'day folks, Rod from My Water Filter here today, and we're going to have a look at the whole house water filter versus a single stage whole house water filter. And by that, what I'm talking about is the large Gold Carb, okay? So this triple whole house water filter here is quite easy to move around. I can pick it up easily myself. We can carry it to position. The plumber will lift it up, install it on the wall, all very easily and not too heavy at all. The cartridges that are replaced inside of it, you can order them manually. We post them out easily, arrive at the home, and once you've had a look at the video and you know what you're doing, you can change the cartridges, one of these, in about 5 minutes. And it really isn't a problem, okay? So simple systems, used widely all across the country, and there's plenty of knowledge out there nowadays on how they work, and they do work well, don't get me wrong. If you're comparing them to the Gold Carb, and maybe whether you would buy one over the other, that is a personal choice to make, and it's got to fit in with your environment and what might be happening at home and how many people you've got in the home, okay? So to give you an idea, inside this water filter is a sediment cartridge in the front that takes the dirt and the lumps and bumps out, okay? The Gold Carb has a 20-inch pre-filter as well, so that's going to take out the lumps and bumps and sediments as well. Both very easy to change over in 5 minutes, okay? In the second housing here, this one here has got carbon. You could have our heavy metal removal model. It might have carbon argon or heavy metal removal cartridge in there. And with those, as the water comes in and fills up the housing, then the water penetrates through the wall of the cartridge to the center core, okay? As it penetrates through the cartridge, that's when the water's filtered. It's the contact time the water has with the cartridge as the water passes through the cartridge into the center core. Now, this system here has got 2 cartridges, so you do get a double treatment, all right? Pass through the first one, center core, up over, fills the housing, passes through the second cartridge, and then into the center core, and then it flows out throughout the home. These cartridges are possibly 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick, okay? So that's how much carbon the water's going to pass through twice in these systems. Then if you compare that to the Gold Carb, and just on that, these weigh there's about 4 kilos of carbon, 4.5 kilos of carbon in the 2 cartridges, okay? Now if you compare that to the Gold Carb, that's got about 40 kilos of carbon. So there's 10 times more carbon in a Gold Carb. Yes, it costs a little bit more to purchase it up front the first time, but as you can imagine, it just stands to reason and makes sense. 4 kilos of carbon versus 40 kilos of carbon in the Gold Carb. And that's why the Gold Carb makes such good quality water. And as the water passes all the way up through that large cylinder of carbon, it's taken all of that chemical and chlorine out of the water, and it really does make magnificent water, okay? Generally a system like this, depending on the size of the home and the volume of people in the house, showering, etc., this will wear out in about 12 to 18 months would be the good time to replace the cartridges in one of these filters. Whereas the Gold Carb, yes, you'd replace the first sediment cartridge annually and get the dirt and sediment out of the water and replace that sediment cartridge annually so the water still flows through the house nice and fast with no restriction, etc. Then with the big Gold Carb, obviously it's all of these filters come down to use, okay, and how much use they get. So even if you've got a good sized family, that Gold Carb is going to last many years, okay? So many years I haven't worn one out yet. So the big Gold Carbs, if you've got the room, they are heavy, they weigh about 40 kilos empty. So you've got the room and you can accommodate it and get one alongside the home, then feel free to go for the big Gold Carb. You'll never look back. They're magnificent at creating perfect water in the home. And then when you want to replace it, it's basically, as I say, it lasts 5 years plus, okay? And then when it's time to replace it, you're basically laying the whole container over and standing a new one up in its place. They are more expensive, obviously, this cartridge here, but you're not changing the cartridge every year. You're changing it 5+ years down the track, okay? So we're happy for anybody to be using either. We're really just trying to get some carbon for the water to flow through on as many houses as possible in this country, because we know how magnificent the water becomes after it passes through some carbon, okay? So Have a look around, yell out if we can help you, and great to chat with you. Thanks very much.